One big topic that comes up is the incidence of women getting mesothelioma as opposed to men. And traditionally, we focused on a lot of the industrial trades, which in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, women were often locked out of. But as time went on and women came into manufacturing and in military and other fields, there are actual incidences of women getting exposed to asbestos in what was traditionally male occupations. That's one aspect of how things have changed. The other is women oftentimes, even back then, were exposed to asbestos from their husband's clothing. Men would come home with dirty work clothes, and women were there washing the clothes, shaking them out, and that creates dust. And believe it or not, the amount of dust just coming from a woman shaking off her husband's uniform can be enough at times to cause disease. Over the years, there were cases where women would get diagnosed with mesothelioma, and we'd have no idea why. They weren't in a particular trade or industry where they would be exposed to asbestos, and they didn't have anyone in their family that would lend to asbestos exposure either. And over time, we started asking different questions. And one of those questions was, have you ever used talc, cosmetic talc? And often these women that were diagnosed with mesothelioma and weren't involved in any traditional asbestos exposures were in fact talc users, daily talc users. And so it kind of explained the uptick in the number of female cases where you'd see a pleural mesothelioma diagnosis. Even though there's more information now about asbestos exposure from cosmetic talc products, there's still a lag in the medical industry in terms of understanding this new information. So you're not getting doctors that are asking necessarily the right questions when it comes to talc exposure. So there are oftentimes missed diagnoses for women and mesothelioma diagnosis. A lot of times, even the disease itself can present like pneumonia or other respiratory illnesses, and it takes a long time and the right people to figure out that it is in fact pleural mesothelioma. Women are absolutely entitled to compensation if they develop mesothelioma as a result of using cosmetic products that contained asbestos. And there are many products that even to this day still contain asbestos. And part of the problem is that these companies, going back to the 1970s, really didn't take the proper precautions to make sure that their talc products were safe. If you or a loved one was exposed to asbestos through either direct exposure to an asbestos-containing product or a loved one that worked with asbestos-containing products, or you yourself were somebody that used cosmetic talc products which exposed you to asbestos, you have a path to compensation. Reach out, give us a call, let us investigate for you, and let you know what your rights are.